Hello again, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Isola Jemima. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you. And so we are going to just get right into it. So today's discussion is going to be very, very insightful and interesting and also impactful. Yes, very, very important. And like I said earlier, we are going to try to do this under 1 hour so that we can get back to our families and weekend. Yes, thank God it's Friday. So my name is Ayodele Fasu and I'm glad it's a privilege to be doing this. So yes, today we are going to be having this very, very important discussion. Okay, so let me pull up my slides. Let me pull up my slides. I'm sure that finally, finally. All right. Thank you. So we are just going to run through this. We spent about how many minutes? 12 minutes. Can you see my screen now? We can now. Thank you. Thank you for your patience. Thank you so very much. Okay, so yes, we're going to be talking about beyond the classroom, preparing your children for future success or preparing them for a life that they don't have to endure. And I want you to look at these beautiful faces on my screen. Who can okay, just before we go on to the next slide, can anybody mention who these people are? From their pictures, do you know who they are? Please type it in the comments. I want to see it. If you know who they are, type it in the comments. Yeah, you can see my slides now. That's good. Type it in the comments if you know who they are. Okay, so we just go on. Right, so today we're going to be discussing about why we have a pandemic of miserable adults. These are the discussion areas. Why some parents do not support their children's dreams, how to identify and nurture your child's unique strengths and talents, and then empowering our children with the skills they need to excel in life. So these are the major discussion areas for today. Like I said, this is going to be very, very interesting. A musician must make music. So this is food for thought. Just before we continue, I want us to, you know, look at this slide and just read this and try to understand what it really means. A musician must make music. An artist, an artist must paint. And a poet must write if he is to be ultimately be at peace with himself. This is a quote by Abraham Maslow. A musician must make music, meaning that what makes a musician? An artist must paint and a poet must write, meaning, so I would like to explain this with this Bible verse. Sorry, if you're not a Christian, just assume that we are using a book. Jeremiah 1:5. I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. Before you were born, I set you apart and appointed you as a prophet to nations. So this is God talking. And then we can see from here that, okay, so even before we were born, we already have, God created us with a unique set of strengths, unique set of, everybody is unique. So God, before we were born, God already knew us. He knew that, okay, so this person is going to be a musician. This person is going to be a poet. This person, so he dropped a little bit of himself in all of us. And this explains this quote by Abraham Maslow. A musician must make music, an artist must paint, and a poet must write if he is to be ultimately be at peace in himself. So that thing that has been deposited in you, if you would be ultimately at peace with yourself, then you must be able to find it, express it, find and express it. So yes, moving on to the next slide. What do you know about this legend? So I said earlier that can you recognize any of these people? They all have something in common. This is Chimamanda Adichie, this is Tara Feladurotoye, and this is Chino Achebe. Chino Achebe. So I read, if you were in art or commercial class, when in secondary school, I'm sure you must have read some books by Chino Achebe. So I'm going to tell you something that is common among these three legends. And I'm sure that you know Chimamanda Adichie to have read some of her books. These are amazing, amazing people. So Chino Achebe was, okay, so before I tell the story, imagine Chino Achebe that you know as a doctor. The Chino Achebe that you know, imagine him as a doctor in maybe a hospital like Lute, attending to maybe pregnant women. What how is that coming to you? Can you imagine him in that scenario? Well, that is who Chino Achebe would have been. So Chino Achebe was very good in sciences, in secondary school, and he even got a scholarship to study surgery and medicine. But his interest was not in surgery and medicine. He wanted to write, he wanted to study literature. So he had a burden about, the trajectory of African literature, and he wanted to change that narrative with his writing. So he had already nursed this interest since he was as young as possible. So, but because he loved the sciences and he passed so well, the school gave him a scholarship to go study medicine without consideration for any of his talents, his strengths, his interests. You get what I mean? But because he knew what he wanted, he declined and then went to University of Ibadan to study English literature. And at the age of 28, he wrote his first book, Things Fall Apart. That book has now been translated to more than 50 languages and has sold over 20 million copies. This is aside all the other books that he has written. So now imagine this legend with this kind of result, doing what he loves. And imagine if he hadn't known what he wanted, or he had gone with what the school suggested. Imagine where would we have known the Chino Achebe today? I very much doubt it. I very much doubt it. Same with Chimamanda Adichie. She was also, I think she actually started studying pharmacy, but she dropped out and later studied something else. And look at where she is today. But unfortunately, we still have parents who want their children to live their dream. Most of us, the narrative that was sold to us was go to school, get good grades, pass your exam very well, and get a good job without consideration for any other thing. Maybe what you wanted to do without any form of guidance. The narrative was just go to school, pass, get a good job. And unfortunately, so many parents are also still in that boat. And even our educational system is also prioritizes only academic performance over other, abilities of the children. Because I also experienced it. Maybe I should share my story, but I'm sure that if you're following me, you would have heard my story by now. But let me just quickly share it. So I was before I got into secondary school at all, while I was in primary school, maybe like 6, 7, or 8, around that time, I already knew what I wanted to do. I already knew what I wanted to do, what I wanted to study in university. But even though the motive for choosing the course was not right, but I already knew what I wanted to do. And when I got into secondary school, I passed my GSS3 exam, and the school was like, everybody that passed the exam very well, everybody go to science class. And no, I was like, no, I know what I want to study. Science, no, it's not me. The available options that we had then was either you study accounting, or you study law, or you study medicine, or which other one was available there, maybe architect, nursing, you know. And they wanted me to go to science class, and I was like, no, I want to be an accountant, I don't want to go to science class. So thank you very much. And I declined. But some people still went ahead and just, did what the school wanted, and without any form of guidance, without any form of counseling, any form of, okay, what exactly do you want to do? So many adults leave the making of, and which has resulted into so many adults being miserable in terms of, so many people are working, they are just surviving, not really doing, not really doing what you really want to do, not doing what you are doing is, okay, I have to work, I have to earn money, and so you go to work to earn money, but deep down you know that there's more. This is really not what I want to do. There's something missing. But because we were raised with that survival mentality, just find a lucrative job or lucrative profession to study, course to do, so that when you get out, you find a good job. That was the mentality. But is it really serving us? I don't think so. Many adults live a life handed over to them by their parents, by their by the society, or by friends. So many parents will say, oh, okay, so you have to study this. In my family, okay, so let me tell you a story. And one, I know somebody, herself and her husband are doctors, and they said all their children must either be doctors or engineer. And the first child she's female. She of course went ahead to study medicine, but she had an interest in fashion, in writing, and she already started that even while she was in secondary school. But her parents insisted that, okay, because they are doctors and they are, highly placed people in the society, the children too had to follow that line. Eventually she finished, and she couldn't survive. She couldn't even survive the 1 year housemanship that they usually do after service, because she was like, everything that she saw there, it's like, this is not for me. Imagine the number of years that she had spent in university, housemanship, everything, down the drain, because it's not really her area of interest. It's not something that she's passionate about. It's not her area of strength. Imagine spending those 6 or 7 years doing what is aligned with your strength, or what is aligned with your passion, and improving on it and upskilling on it. Imagine how far she would have gone. And that's, sadly, that is the story of so many adults today. So many, so many. The cycle was just to go to school, get good grades, get a good job, and for us females, they added that so that they will get a good husband. That was also part of it. And so the children struggle to live up to the expectations of their parents without any form of consideration. You must do this because I say so, or because I want to be called the mother of a doctor, the mother of an engineer, the mother of an architect, even if the child is not wired to do that. And then what a student, you know that saying where they say a student work for a student work for C students. I've forgotten how it is usually said. But that is because even when children pass exams, all there is to living a life of fulfillment is not about the course, or it's not about studying a good course in quotes, or a lucrative course in quotes. What does that even mean? Every course is lucrative, in my opinion, because lucrative studying a lucrative course, in my opinion, is a myth, because there are people who have studied that same course and have still not been able to find their feet. There are poor doctors, there are poor lawyers, there are poor. So why do we insist, or why did we find ourselves in this position where we were made to do things that we really didn't want to do? Okay, so but the narrative can change. We really don't have to pass that survival mode to our children. They can be empowered to dream, to create, and so that they can thrive. So are you setting up your children for the same life of misery? Like I said earlier, there are so many parents who are in that space right now. They find themselves doing this job that was either maybe it was their first job after school. After school you find it, maybe you look for a job for like 2 years and you can't find anything that's related to what you study. You just at that point you're just looking for any kind of job. At least mom must chop. I need to make money so that I can take care of my bills. So maybe the first job that you found was a a position in a bank, maybe as a marketer or operations something, and then you are stuck there for 5 years, 6 years, but you know that this is not, you have still not been able to find that happiness, that fulfillment in what you are doing. You are still that even though you are making money, and it's even worse. It's even worse if you are doing a job that you are not happy at and you are still not being paid well for it. That's double wahala for everybody. So you get the point now. We don't have to pass this survival mode to our children. We don't have to set them up for a life of misery where they just manage. You have to eat, you have to take care of your bills, you have to take care of your responsibility. So just manage any job that you see, just manage. Let's move from the era of churning out job seekers. Let's move to the era of positioning our children to be solution providers. So this was usually the scenario: go to school, get good grades, get a job. But is this all there is to life? Is this really all there is to life? We can position our children to be creative solution providers, to see opportunities and not to wait for jobs. Even if so, not everyone is going to be an entrepreneur, right? So that is not even the message that we are preaching. But it is that the child is wired to see him or herself as a solution provider. So even when you are employed in an organization, the way you think will be different. Not just that I'm coming here to do my job and go back home and that's it. Somebody who is doing that and another person who is really interested in that thing, where their results will definitely be different. Their results will definitely be where the other person is saying challenges, is saying, oh, this thing is too hard. The person is saying, how can I make this better? And that is how we should position our children. Why some parents do not support their children's dreams? Yes, so this is where we are. Ego, like I said before, this story I shared earlier, where the doctor, husband and wife, wanted the children to also be either doctors or engineer or nothing more, because so that they can say my child is the child of a or I'm the mother of a doctor. We have doctors in our lineage. What's that? Remember that Bible verse that we read earlier? Before I knew you, I formed you. Before you were formed, I knew you. So if that child was not wired to be a doctor, like the first child, of course the child would struggle. But because the child wants to please the parents, the child will go on and probably do it. Societal expectations based on position, yes. Fear of the future, yes. Some of our parents, it's not really because they they just wanted us to do it. It's because of fear, maybe because of their own, where they found themselves. So they don't want us to also go through that same route. They want us to be financially secure. They want us to be in a space where we don't have to beg. And so it could be one of the reasons why some parents do not support their children. Say, like, this thing you are doing, you are singing. How is that going to put food on the table? Or yeah, you say you like this one. How is that going to serve you? Financial security, very important. That's also one of the reasons. Past experiences and their own failed dreams. So this could also be the reason that they do not see the reason why you should do anything that you like, or to do something that aligns with your strength, because they have tried it. Maybe they had this dream while growing up and it just didn't work, and so you want to also project this on your children. Let's not project our failed dreams and aspirations on our children. We are very different entities. So if you have not been able to fulfill your own dreams, it's fine. There's still time. You can find a way to do it. But let's not, because of those experiences, now limit our children and box them in such that they are not able to express their own talents and strengths, living through their children. So yes, this is also a thing. Like, I want to be the mother of a pilot. When I enter a space, I say, oh, my child, remember my child, oh, my child is a pilot, he works with something, something, something. So that that's like living through your own children, or living your own dreams. Maybe you wanted to be a doctor, you wanted to be something and you couldn't achieve it. Okay, so now the next generation must carry your body. That should not be so. That should not be so. Please, I would like to know, can you still hear me and see me? And I would like you to drop your comments so far. What is it that you have taken from this session so far? So, food for thought. The solutions to the challenges of tomorrow have already been deposited in the children of today. So mostly what some of us experienced was that, okay, the jobs that were available, or the reigning let me say the reigning professions that were available at that time was, the popular doctor, lawyer, accountant, and so we were not, or our guardians and parents were not really projecting into the future to say, okay, these jobs are here now, but what about the future? What are the skills that you will need for the future? And God does not put solution when there's a challenge, because of course he knows the end from the beginning. So in the next 10, 20 years, he knows the challenges that will be in the world. And so what he does is puts the solution, or the wiring that will create the solution, into the children of today, so that when they get there, they can solve that. And it's not when you get to the future that you start solving the problem of the future. No, it is solved today. An example is Jesus. He spent 33 years on earth, but before that 33 years, God already knew that he was going to save the world, he was going to heal the sick. But did he just fall down from heaven? No. 30 years or 33 years before, 30 years before, his ministry was 3 years, he had to come to earth to prepare. Same with John the Baptist. He was the forerunner. He had to come ahead to prepare. Joseph the dreamer, he had to come ahead to prepare. Steve Jobs, the Bright brothers, Thomas Edison, these people didn't just create solutions at that time. It was some. Imagine now that, okay, there's no electricity or there's no light bulb. Let's imagine our lives right now without light bulb. What would it? Is this something that you can comprehend? But there was a time where there was no electricity, where there was no light bulb. Or imagine our lives right now without plane. That, so if you want to travel to America, you have to go through sea. Let's paint that picture for a minute. How does it look? You spend how many months? But now we can do that in less than 24 hours, because some people somewhere used their creativity. They were not boxed up somewhere too. So all the solutions that we see in the world are not just from book knowledge. Yes, book knowledge is great, but inside every one of us and inside our children are specific strengths, specific wiring that is there to solve specific problems in the world. So if we say, no, you have to be this, how do they then achieve that purpose? How do they then now, position them to live that life that they have been designed to live. Yes, everybody is designed for something, but it is our responsibility to find it, to refine it, and then to be able to express it, which is the advantage that we should be giving our children. So how to identify and nurture your child's unique strengths and talents. So yes, it's it's okay for us to say, okay, yes, so nurture your child's talents, ensure that your child is, you know, working in their area of strength, or you are able to help your child um, discover their passion or their gift. But how? That is very, very important. As parents, I would like to say that as parents, we are custodians of time, we are custodians of treasure, and we are custodians of talents. Let me say that again. As parents and guardians, we are custodians of time, talents, and treasure. So our children are, you know, we are talent managers. So it is our responsibility to help them find that special, unique area of strength, that special thing that they love to do, that uniqueness. It is our responsibility to help them find it so that they can live a fulfilling and happy life. They don't have to live a life where you just get a job and just go to work Monday to Friday and thank God it's Friday. No, there's more to life than that. And if we want our children to truly live that kind of life, then we've got to help them find their genius. Everybody is a genius, actually, not even every child. But we've got to help them come to that realization. So how can we do that? One, by observation. Observation. So you can't just anything you need to be able to observe your children. You need to be able to sit down, and that means you being present, you being observant. Okay, so this child has notice the patterns. Okay, so when this child is singing, or when this child is doing this particular activity, the child is very appeased, the child is happy. In fact, the child can forget to eat. Observation. Notice what the child loves, what the child naturally gravitates towards. Expose them to different activities. This is also one way by which you can find their area of giftings. Expose them to different activities. So you may not know, but when you expose them to different things, then you see that, okay, when the child is doing this, the child is really happy. Maybe music, um, play, building things. You get to know reading. You get to know exactly what the child loves. Keeping a journal on the traits you notice. So this one, I think I started this last year. So um, our children, world famous and our excellence, we call them world famous and our excellence. They are very, of course, they are two very different individuals. So I started to notice some things and I started to write them down. So I have a journal, a note on my phone for world famous. I have a note for our excellency. And so the things that I have seen that are peculiar to world famous, I write them down. For example, she loves children. Like anywhere she sees children, she just gravitates towards children. She will just start playing, she just forgets herself. So she also loves music. She also loves to dance. So these things she's also very empathetic. She's very kind. She's very sensitive to feelings, and and okay, so let me quickly say this. So some of us, we what we look out for as gift or talent is, okay, this child knows how to sing, somebody who knows how to sing, oh, somebody who knows how to dance, or somebody there are different, God has given different gifts to different people. There's the gift of observation, of being able to dream, the gift of perspective. You just say that this child, when you are talking, the perspective that the child comes from is usually very eye-opening. That is something unique. A child is very good with what will I dates, or with numbers, or with building things, with working with their aunts. What famous is it's like that. She likes working with her aunts. She's kind of aesthetic, so she likes. So you notice traits like that. It's not just gift or talent or strength. It's not just about somebody who knows how to sing or dance. No, 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 no. So somebody who is sensitive, who is empathetic, who can probably do can probably go into something like maybe psychology. So our own work is to just let's notice the patterns. Just keep writing them down, even though you can't bring everything together for now. But as you keep observing, as you keep writing down, as you keep exposing them to these activities, you get to now begin to say, okay, yes, I think this is it. And then you expose the child to more of the activities that the child loves. Use play as a tool. So some of us, while growing up, play was not a thing. No, you had to be reading, or you had to be. But play is an important tool in the life of the child. So from them playing, because at that time they are very free, there's no restriction, there's no pressure. So they are free to express themselves. And at those moments, they they usually do the things that they love. Ask thought-provoking questions. So ask questions. Okay, so if you were to change the world, what would you do? So depending also on the age of the child. We shared this some time ago on our Instagram handle. I think we are still going to do it again. Ask questions. It helps them not just think about, okay, I want to do this. It helps them also reflect on why. Because me, like I said earlier, I knew what I wanted to do right from when I was maybe 7 or 8. But the motive was very wrong. So if somebody had been able to guide me and ask me these questions, okay, so why? Maybe, just maybe, I would have, told another part. Communication that fosters open conversation. This is also very important. You cannot say you want to know your child, you want to help your child find their gifts, find their area of strength by and not communicate. No, it's not possible. Create an enabling environment where the child is free to talk to you, the child is free to express him or herself. And this one too is very, very important. Ask the manufacturer, aka the giver of the children. So yes, we may not know these things, but when you combine all these things together, you begin to see patterns, you begin to see traits that you can then begin to work with. So yes, ask the manufacturer. Who is the manufacturer? God now. Who is God that gave you the children? So ask him to help you. Ask him to help you see who they really are. Mary, the mother of Jesus, knew who she was raising. Elizabeth knew who she was raising. Samson's parents knew who they were raising. So it is also important for us and to know who we are raising, so we can guide them appropriately and start early. This one too is very, very important. Start early. So let me give let me give a scenario of this, of why it is important for us to start as early as possible. So we visited a playground about 2 years ago in Manchester, and what I saw the children there doing, like it wowed me. Like I was there with the children and my husband, and we were just looking at ourselves, and we're saying, okay, so you see children of 3, 4, 5 on the swing, doing somersault, doing different things, and their parents are there, and the children are okay, like they are fine. They are just exploring, taking risks, and they were doing it with such finesse, with such grace. And me and my husband were like, okay, so if these children, how do we want to, from the parts of the world where we are coming from, how do we want to compete with these children? These are children who are 5, 6, already doing this kind of thing. See them playing basketball. How do we want to compare ourselves? How do we want to, where do we want to start from? Because if by the time you identify the gift or talent, maybe it's 15 or say, or even after you have finished university sef, that's why you know, okay, I think I like to do this, so I think I like to do this. So this is very, very important. Like I said earlier, we are custodians of time, so it is very important that we use it very well. We are custodian of treasure, our children are treasure, and we are custodian of talent. So we are as talent, let's let that register in our minds now, that we are talent manager. Even if you are not parents, if you are not guardians, but I'm sure that you have children around you. Let that sink in, that we are talent managers. It will help us, to be able to yes, to be able to put things in perspective. So yes, who can see my screen? Who knows this person, this person on my slide right now? Who is this person on my slide right now? Please, I need comments. I need comments. I need comments. And how has this been for you so far? Who is this on my slide? Okay, so this is Messi, Lionel Messi. In my opinion, the greatest of all time. You can argue with your keeper. Thank you very much. So Messi is Messi relocated to Spain to join Barcelona at age 13 and made his competitive debut at the age of 17 in October of 2024. So according to Wikipedia, Lionel Messi is the most decorated player in the history of professional football. It's not me that said it to for you that want to be arguing with your keypads and your keyboard. It's not me that said it. This one is from Wikipedia. It's Wikipedia that said it. That is the most decorated player in the history of professional football. And they went on to say all the things that he has been able to achieve. But do you think that timing also had anything to do with this? Like I said earlier, start early. Do you think that timing had anything to do with this? I would say yes. This was 2022. If you watch this match, let me see your comment in the comment section. Did you watch this match of I think this was France Argentina? Yes, France Argentina in 2022. I watched it. Hey, and that last score was something. Was something. No, that match it gave us pressure. We were under pressure. But I hope you get the gist. So yes, moving on. The skills that our children need to excel at life. The skill that they need to excel at life. So it is not just about being smart or being book smart. It is not life. Even science has now proven that to succeed at life, it's not just about IQ. AI is also very, very important. And these skills are some of the skills that you would be able to achieve if you are emotionally intelligent and if you teach your children to be emotionally intelligent. The skills they need to excel. Inspire them to dream big. So it starts everything, every great solution, every great achievements, anything at all in this world that has been achieved, that is anybody that has been successful, started from a dream. They started from believing that yes, okay, this is possible. So everything starts from a dream. So don't let when our children talk to us about, oh, mommy, I'm going to be the first person to build a car that will walk on water. Don't say, eh, Nyimu, walk on water. How come? How do you want to do it? I wanted to speak Yoruba. How do you want to do it? Let's not, let's not, let's not do that. Let's not do that. So it rather let's encourage them to dream big. Let's encourage them to think without the box. Yes, because it is very, very important. Imagine when the Wright brothers were thinking about, you know, building a plane. People at that time would have mocked them, they would have laughed at them. How do you want to do something that will fly in the air? How do you want to do it? Everything seems impossible until it is done. So inspire them to dream big. Do not, mock them or say, how is that possible? No, encourage them. Anything is possible if a person believes. Yeah. Yeah, so This is a Bible verse, Mark 9:23. Anything is possible if the person believes. Teach them valuable life skills, communication skills, social skills. Like I said earlier, it's not only being smart that would help your children to succeed at life. No, it takes more than that. They need resilience, they need grit, they need positive mindset, they need to be able to work as a team, because nothing is achieved alone. You cannot build anything on by yourself. No, all ye self-made, I am self-made. No, at one point or the other, you would have gotten help. So nothing is nobody. You need a community. They need social skills. They need to be able to. They need relationship skills. You see that all these things has nothing to do with book knowledge. They need staying power. They need financial literacy. They need to be able to access spiritual intelligence. Like I said, everything starts from what they can see, from dreaming. Lots and lots of positivity, because when those challenges come and it seems that this dream that I'm dreaming, say this thing that I even want to achieve, are you sure this thing is possible? They need lots and lots of positivity, the power of community, mentoring, growth mindset, how to handle failure, fear and frustration. So this one, even us adults, we are still dealing with this, because we were taught that mistakes are bad. Mistakes means that you as a person, you have failed. No, failure is an event. It is not you. So let us learn to separate failure from the person. Even if our children try it, and that is why it is even important for them to start early. Let them experiment. Let them take risk. They do this, it doesn't work. Fine, you are still young. Try something else or do it again. But now, imagine that you want to start doing something now as an adult. You will think 10 times now. If this thing fail now, where do I want to start from? But for them, we can give them a head start by helping them to start from as young as possible. So positioning them for a life of impact and lasting wealth, doing what they are passionate about. So, like I explained before, so most of one of the reasons that we were not guided appropriately, or that we were forced to do the courses that we didn't want to do, was because our parents wanted us to be financially secure. But what if you can do those things that you love and still be smiling to the bank while at it? It's possible, very, very possible. We have examples of people who are doing it. The picture that I showed earlier, Tara Fela Durotoye, she was one of the pioneers of the makeup industry. That is an industry that had never existed before. Was it just book knowledge that brought her to that space? No, it was the other skills. It was seeing herself as a solution provider, not just waiting for job to fall on your lap, which is what we have been taught, which is what I hope we are not unconsciously or unintentionally teaching our own children. So we need to help them discover, develop, express, and refine their grit, talent, and strength. So recently I did a poll, or I did a survey. We're asking parents about, okay, and I asking them about some questions like, okay, where if you were to go back, would you have chosen a different career path? Would you say that currently you are doing something that you really love? Would you want your children to do so? This one question that I asked, would you want your children to be able to do what they love and still make money while at it? 95% of parents said yes, and a very good percentage of them also said that they are not currently doing, and if given the chance to go back, of course it's not possible, they would have probably chosen a different career path based on their strengths and their passion. So we can see that this is it's a, like I said, it's a pandemic that we need to stop. What exactly are we afraid of? Where exactly is the fear coming from? Instead of instead of operating from that place of fear, why not position our children to be solution providers. We have fashion entrepreneurs today that are doing absolutely well than some of these professions in quotes, some of these lucrative professions in quotes. And this is not to say that if the profession is what your child wants to do, that it is bad. No, it is just saying that let us position our children based on their area of strength, working from their area of strength. It is always better to work from your area of strength than to struggle. It is always better. We have so many amazing people in different industry that we didn't even think will be a thing today. Music industry, makeup industry, fashion industry. So a child doesn't have to be a lawyer or a doctor. Of course, we need people in that profession because when we are sick, we need people to take care of us. We need people to help us in court. And there are people who are wired, who are designed for that. But let's not pressure our children for societal sake or for our own sake to go into those careers just because. So we need to also help them build the right mindset to be creator. We are creators and not consumers. So we should teach our children to be creators. They are creators. So let us help them come to that realization and to think as creators. From this thing that I have, what can I create from it? Not having to sit down at home for 5 years waiting for a job that may never come, and then grabbing the first thing that comes our way. And the thing is, once you enter that one that comes your way, the probability is that that will probably be what you will end up using your life to do. Because if you enter bank now, it's very hard. I know some people who have transitioned, but it's very hard. Some would have spent 10 years, 15 years in the banking industry doing what they do not really want to do. So we don't want our children. 15 years is a long time to spend doing what you do not love. We don't want that for our children. So another way that we can position them for a life of impact is to help them do passion projects. This is what it is that you want to do. Do a project. Let them serve other people. Okay, you have seen that this child is good with you. Okay, so like I said before, world famous, she loves children. So um re- very soon now she will start going to be serving in children's church. That's one of the things that we have decided. Let her serve. You love to do this thing, go there and serve. Internships, you see that a child is maybe 10, 9, 8, or even as a teenager, and you see that this child is loves fashion, or go and find somewhere, let the child go and learn. Let the child be exposed to different things. So I hope that with these few points of mine, I have been able to do justice to why it is important that our children are positioned for a life of impact while still building lasting wealth from it, because I know that that is the fear of so many parents. But we can position them to do what they love and still make impact, serve the world, and make money from it. Yes. So yes, this is where I get to introduce beyond the classroom. Please, I would like for you to drop your comments. I would like to see your comments. How has this been for you so far? How has this been for you so far? How has this been for you so far? Just before we go on, this is 8 o'clock. We'll be rounding up very soon. What is that one thing that you said that you would say that you have gotten from being here, from spending 1 hour of your time here today? What is that one thing? What is your takeaway from here? Okay, so introducing beyond the class. I'm still waiting for your comments, please. It's very, very important. I want to know that I am not here alone. and that you are following me. So I am waiting for your comments. All right, introducing beyond the classroom. Beyond the classroom. So at the last vision board workshop, we introduced this to the parents who brought their children for. And by the way, I want to say a very big thank you for everyone who took out time to invest, or who is taking out time to invest in their children. It is an investment, and I pray that you would reap that investment, and most importantly, they would benefit from all these things. So beyond the classroom, empowering young minds to dream, to create, to lead, and to thrive. So beyond this classroom was birthed as a result of what we have discussed here today. It was birthed from the burden of seeing children, teenagers, not having an idea of what they want to do with their lives. So I've spoken to a few teenagers. Yes, I did a survey for parents and also did a survey for teenagers. And the responses actually broke my heart. Like, most of them do not have an idea of what they want to do, and they are in school studying one course. Okay, so why are you studying this course? Well, I really don't know. Okay, so what do you think? What do you want to do after studying this course? I really don't know. Some are in 200 level, some are in 300 level. Imagine the time. I won't say waste, but imagine spending that time studying something that you really want to do, something that you are passionate about. So this is why we created Beyond the Classroom. So beyond the classroom is many children and teenagers are just going through the motions. It's a program where children and teenagers are going to be empowered to dream, to discover, to develop, and also to express their unique gifts and talents, while also positioning them to be able to build wealth from it, because that is also very important. God has given us all these unique abilities to solve a problem. And in solving a problem, when you give value, of course value will come back to you, but it needs positioning. Anything in its raw form is not worthy. Anything in its like gold, you need to dig, but you need to refine it before you can actually say, yes, I have gold. So anything in its raw form as they are right now, yes, you know that, okay, they have this passion, they have this interest, but it needs to be refined, it needs to be packaged if they are going to be able to give value from it. And like I said, the current challenges that we have with some of our current school system is that many children and teenagers are just going through the motions, cramming for exam like some of us did, feeling pressured to follow safe and lucrative career. You see a person studying this and say, they said that it's a tech that is raining now, so let me just go and study computer science. At least me too, I will be able to get a slice of the money. But it doesn't really work that way. Some of our education system also focus on exams and grades only. No. Yes, exam is good. Book knowledge, school is very, very important. But is that all there is to it? I would say no. So we believe that every child deserves the chance to explore what they truly love, discover their gifts, and find paths that make them happy. Like I said earlier, some of us are just going through the motions. Go to work, come back, take care of the family, do your settle your bills, settle your financial responsibilities, and it's a cycle. We are not really happy. We are not really fulfilled. There's still something missing. But we don't want that for the next generation. We don't want that for our young ones. And that is the reason for Beyond the Classroom. Imagine seeing your child shine bright, doing the work that they love, and contributing to the world while at it. So Beyond the Classroom is a 4-month program that sets children and teenagers on a journey to discover, to develop, to express, and release their unique talents, passion, and dreams. So in this program, we're going to be taking them on a journey of expression, of coming to the fullness of who they are. So there will be self-discovery. They're going to be discovering, okay, what it is that I truly love. And they are also going to be able to interact with other people, and of course to express it. So it's not just saying, okay, I love to do this, I love to. How can you express this thing? How can you refine it? How can you package it in such a way that it is valuable to the world? This is what Beyond the Classroom is going to help your children do. We want them to learn practical skills, gain confidence, and use their gifts to create real world value. And the end result is that your children are not just going to dream, but they are going to learn to turn their dreams into meaningful, fulfilling success. So these are some of the things that we offer. The classes are going to be bi-monthly with a presentation of a project at the end of the program. So it's going to start in April 5th and end by July 31st, 2025. So the first cohort starts April 5th and ends July 31st, 2025. And within that period, they are going to learn a whole lot, and they're going to learn it because the end goal is also to be able to help them get internships, to be able to get help them get scholarships, to open their eyes early to exactly what it is that they have been designed to do, and to help them package it appropriately. So what's in it for you and your child? For your child, they gain confidence, purpose, and a sense of direction. They learn how to make money doing what they love. Like I said, yes, that money part, is very, very important. Everything that God has deposited in us is to create value. But when you create value, when you give value, what comes back? Value comes back to you. But it has to be packaged in such a way that you will get the value. So that is what would help them achieve with this program. So the next steps, we are rounding up just about now. Join us, help your children dream big. It is very so beyond just envisioning the future, beyond helping them to see what it is that they want to do, they want to be, what the problems that they want to solve in the world. How can they begin to take steps now, right from now, towards that big goal? How can they begin to position themselves? How can we begin to position them to be able to achieve all those big dreams that they have written down, or that they have pasted, those beautiful pictures that they have pasted on their vision board? It starts from now. So sign up today, and together we'll set them on the road to a brighter future. Don't let their talents go unnoticed or their dreams stay just dreams. Give your children the opportunity to lead a fulfilling and successful life. Yeah, I think we've come to the end of the webinar. I hope that you got value. First cohort, like I said, starts in April 5th and it ends July 31st, 2025. So we are going to be taking the children through a system of self-discovery, and not just self-discovery. There's going to be an accountability system where, okay, you are not just discovering yourself, you are also going to be able to be accountable to people, mentoring. You are going to be doing projects based on your area of interest. So it could be anything, but there's going to be an actual presentation of projects at the end of the program. So this is going I can already imagine how this is how much value these children are going to get, because it builds confidence, it builds competence, and this is an advantage that we can give to our children. So you can book your slot today with 10,000 naira. Program starts April 5th, and the actual amount for the program is 75,000. But payments must be completed before the start of program on April 5th, 2025. So yes, that is that about beyond the classroom webinar. Positioning your children for a future that they don't have to know how to position your children for a future that they don't have to endure. I will stop sharing my screen now. I will stop sharing now. So I want to see your comments. How has this been for you? What is that one thing that you will say you are taking away from this? What is that one thing that you say you are taking away from this webinar today? And if you are a parent, what is that one thing that you will start to do from today to position your children as solution provider, as creative? Every child is creative. Every child is imaginative. As adults now, we have lost. Some of us have lost our ability to dream. We have lost our ability to use our imagination to create because of the gbas that life has life has given us. But we can give our children a head start. We can give them a head start. And this is why you should register them for Beyond the Classroom Academy. Yeah. Any questions? Like I said, I am going to stop sharing now. Um, okay. Stop. I will start documenting. Yes, yes, yes. Please, you can start from there. You can start from there. You can start from there. I also started that. I also started that last year. And now I have a long list. I have a long list. So yes, you can start from there. Start noticing those small things that they do that you feel like, "Ah, this thing is not even you cannot do that thing as good as they can." So it's not we shouldn't trivialize all these things. Some of us, it's easy to trivialize it. Oh, a child can some people cannot remember dates. The child can remember any date is stuck in the child's head. Any small detail, the child has attention to detail. That is a special uniqueness of that child. Not everybody has the ability to to not everybody has the ability to be able to do that. That attention to the not everybody has it. So when you notice things like that, it's not just, oh, this child can sing and dance, oh, this child can drum. No, these are talents. There are so many things. So start noticing those things and start documenting. By the end of 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, you will go back to your list and start seeing patterns that, okay, I think this child likes this, I think this child likes that, I think so. Yes, that's one way to go. That's one way to go. Thank you, Adewomi. Thank you, Beatrice. Yes, you can start from that. You can start from that. You can start from that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Do you have any question, any comments, anything that you would like us to, anything that you would like to say before we go off? Anything that you would like us to say? Anything that you would like to say, rather, before we go? There's going to be a replay, so please, we're going to share the replay link. Share with your family and friends. It's very, very important. This message needs to go out. Like, this is it's a huge burden for me, really, because I just look back and I'm like, if I had gotten the guidance that I needed at that time, I probably won't have, you know, gone through the route that I went through. And that is simply the story of so many of us adults. That's the story. But everybody who is doing something amazing, who is creating solution in the world. They are not, it's not just about studying a lucrative course. It's from a place of passion, it's from a place of their strength. And that is why we should help our children from now. Payment details. Payment details was on the okay, we'll share that. We'll share that. Okay, there's going to be a replay, so we'll share it in the description of this video, and we'll also share it in our community. So please look out for it. It was in the slide that I shared. So yes, you can book your slot with 10,000, but the actual price, the actual cost of the program would be 75,000. Yeah. And they are going to be doing. It's going to be an amazing time. They are going to have an amazing time. So they are not just going to be dreaming, but actually taking practical steps and positioning them for the actualization of those dreams, which is what is important, right? Yeah. So thank you very much. It's been amazing. Elaborate on the program briefly, please. Okay. So beyond the classroom is a program, is a 4-month program that will take children and teenagers from the age of 8 to 16. So we are taking children from 8 to 16. It's a program that will take them through the process of self-discovery. So they are going to be dreaming big. Yes, they are going to be empowering them, inspiring them to dream big, and then taking practical steps towards these dreams. So say a child who is interested, so what we are going to do is help them discover, develop, and express their talent or their passion. So a child loves music. You notice that this child just loves music. So what can you do with this music to position you as a solution provider? What can you do? So the children are going to be, aside from the self-discovery, getting to know exactly what they want to do, they are also going to be doing projects. So there's going to be, it's an hybrid program. So sometimes we would have it about 2 3 times, we would have physical classes where we'll meet one-on-one with the children. And then there's going to also be, of course, the online section. So at the end of the program, every child would have at least identified one area of strength, one, two, three, 4 areas of strength, and then build on one. So, for example, I love to write. So, at the end of this program, you would have been given the tools and the mindset, the resources to be able to write something. So everybody at the end of this program, everybody participating is going to be working on a project. But of course, we won't just start with that. We would have taught them, trained them to be able to do this. No, it's not a total of 85K. You can book your slot with 10,000 and then pay the remaining over a period of time till it's 75,000. The total cost is 75,000, not 85. The total cost is 75. So, like I was explaining, is to help them build the mindset and the confidence to go after their dreams. So if I love to write, no problem. We'll help you build the mindset. We'll help you build finance. So they'll be teaching them financial literacy, um, entrepreneurial mindset, positivity, growth mindset, all these skills, emotional intelligence, all these skills that are necessary to succeeding at life. And then they will now be working on their own personal project. So if you want to create a song, go ahead and do it. If you want to create something, go ahead and do it. And we would also have mentors following them, following up on them to be able to achieve this. So yes, I hope that explanation, I hope you got my explanation. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So it's just to help our children build confidence and the mindset to be able to go after their dreams. And starting from now to be able to take practical steps. So it's not just saying dream big, dream big, dream big. Okay, after dreaming big, what next? So beyond the classroom is the what next, is what is the next step to that, to helping them, to positioning them to be solution provider. So you are going to be creating a solution. Yes, let me just simply put, they are going to be creating a solution at the end of the program. So yes, and going forward, we intend to have, like I said, internships where they will go and intern with um, people, experts in their area of interest. So maybe you love fashion, you intern with a fashion entrepreneur or fashion expert. You love music, you love this, you love to build, you love tech, you would build something, you would build an app, something like that. Yeah. Thank you. It's been an amazing time here today. Thank you all so very much for joining us. And we are going to see in our community. If you are not a part of our community, why now? Why? Why are you not there? Join our community. We have a WhatsApp community where we share information. I will be sharing more of this day too. So follow us on all our social media platforms, Amani Health, and yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you do not take anything away from this class, please remember that we as parents, we are custodians of time, treasure, and talents. It is our responsibility to help our children nurture their gifts and talents and to position them to be able to create wealth, build lasting wealth from those gifts and passion. Here is where I say thank you, and this is me signing out for now. It's been an amazing time here today. Thank you everyone for joining. See you in the community. Bye for now.